For weeks, we have been operating on suspicion, on inference, and on watching a president desperately trying to change the subject. Today, the suspicion is over. The Wall Street Journal has delivered the exclusive that confirms what we knew all along. This isn't just another bad news cycle for the White House. This is the timeline that exposes the entire cover-up, from its conception to its panicked, flailing execution. The story confirms that back in May, months before this scandal exploded into public view, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy sat down with Donald Trump and informed him directly. He is named, many times, in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Let's be clear, the fact that he's in the files is not a surprise. His friendship with Epstein in the 90s and 2000s is well documented. His own words in a magazine interview, calling Epstein a great guy who likes them on the younger side, have been in the public domain for years. We knew he was there. But the Wall Street Journal report gives us the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. He didn't just know he was in the files, he was officially briefed on it by his own Department of Justice. And this is where the lie collapses. The New York Times corroborates the story, quoting a source with knowledge of the exchange. The DOJ statement tries to downplay it. Of course, nothing in the files warranted further investigation or prosecution. Well, I guess we'll have to take your word for it, won't we? Because you're refusing to release them. We're supposed to trust the very same people who have been caught in a lie and a cover-up. The trust is gone. Because let's look at the timeline. It is utterly damning. It begins in May. The Attorney General tells Trump he's in the files. According to reports, he then has the FBI scour those files to find every single mention of his name. He knows. The White House knows. Then, weeks later, Elon Musk tweets that the reason Trump won't release the files is because he's in them. At the time, it was a bombshell allegation. We now know it was the simple truth. Then comes the lie. In June, a month after his briefing, a reporter from ABC News asks Trump directly, "Did Pam Bondi tell you your name appeared in the files?" His response was a flat denial. No, she did not brief me that I'm in the files. He claimed she only told him about the credibility of the files and then immediately pivoted, claiming the material was manufactured by the Democrats. He lied. To the press. To the American people. He was asked a direct question about a specific meeting, and he lied. Then, in July, just one day before a White House visit from Benjamin Netanyahu, the DOJ makes its official announcement: nothing to see here. No disclosures, no investigations, no charges. Case closed. This is where a cover-up becomes something far more sinister. It becomes a betrayal. Because after lying and burying the files, he began to attack anyone who didn't believe the lie. He called the files a hoax, just like the Steele dossier. And then he turned that lie into a loyalty test, aimed directly at his own base. He said if you are falling for these fake files, you are doing the Democrats' work for them. He said you're no longer his supporter. He said he doesn't want your support because you're weak, you're dumb, and you're not smart enough to see the trap. Think about the sheer, despicable audacity of that. He knew he was in the files. He was briefed on it. He lied about the briefing. And then he had the nerve to gaslight his own supporters, calling them disloyal and stupid for questioning the very lie he was telling. He demanded you believe him, and when you hesitated, he insulted you. And now, we know he was the one lying all along. This isn't just a cover-up of his connection to Epstein anymore. It's a cover-up of the cover-up. And by definition, it is an act of profound contempt for the very people who put him in power. The damning evidence keeps mounting. The Wall Street Journal reports on a birthday letter from Trump to Epstein. We have Senate committee reports about him searching for his name. We have Epstein himself, in a 2010 deposition, pleading the Fifth Amendment when asked if he and Trump socialized in the presence of underage girls. He invoked his right not to incriminate himself. And this is the core of the problem now. It's not even necessarily about what's in the files anymore. though his desperation makes you wonder. The most likely scenario isn't a tape of him committing a crime. It's probably just optics he didn't like, material that would look bad and that the Democrats could use against him. But his handling of it is what makes him look so guilty. An innocent man, a man with nothing to hide, had a different path. He could have said, "You know what? I was friends with this monster before we knew what he was. My name is in there. It's not a good look, but I'm putting all the cards on the table. Here are the files. Let's hold the truly guilty accountable." If he had done that, conservatives could have defended him. We could have seen the information for ourselves and made our own judgment. But he didn't do that. He broke that trust. He lied to our faces, and then he gaslit us for not believing the lie. So now, when his administration says there's nothing to see in the files, we have to ask, if you are so damn innocent, why do you look so guilty? If it's all innocuous, why not put everyone's mind at ease and just show us? The trust is broken. And his attempts at damage control are just as cynical and pathetic. He instructed Pam Bondi to request that judges unseal the grand jury testimony. We said then that this was a punt. He knew the request would likely be denied, allowing him to say, "Shucks, we tried." And even if it succeeded, grand jury testimony is limited. It's not the phone records, the flight logs, the client lists we need to see. Well, now, the punchline arrived. A federal judge in Florida denied the request. So that little piece of political theater is over. Some supporters were trying to spin this as five-dimensional chess, that Trump wanted the public outcry to force his hand. Well, what now? The judge said no. The lie is exposed. The damage control has failed. What leg do you have left to stand on? There's nothing. Steve Bannon can say the Wall Street Journal is the enemy, and he's right, they've always had it out for Trump. But that doesn't make the report any less true. Why did Trump give his enemies this perfect opportunity? This brings us to the feeling, the atmosphere of this movement now. 10 years ago, even last year, being a Trump supporter was about excitement. What's he going to say next? Who's he going to own? A new policy, a new rally, a new promise. It felt hopeful, fun, like being part of a historic cause. Now, if you're a Trump supporter, every day is a new sense of dread. What is it going to be today? One day you're descending him bombing Iran. The next, you're defending a visa program for illegal farm workers. The next, you're explaining away abysmal deportation numbers. And now, this. Every single day, a new revelation in the Epstein scandal. A letter, a testimony, another lie exposed, another embarrassing speech about Obama. Does that feel good, to have to defend another betrayal, another lie, another embarrassment? Frankly, the people who refuse to see this coming deserve to feel this. The people who posted the snarky edits and laughed off any criticism need to feel this. Look at them now. Their Twitter accounts are locked. They're silent. They got played. We cannot keep getting played. We have to get smarter. We have to get wiser. We have to get more skeptical. And that's why we have to talk about this. You need to internalize this feeling. You need to know, once and for all, you cannot trust these people.